Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. Today I have a Project Pan update for you. So this year I'm doing a rolling style Project 10-ish pan, and I call it 10-ish because sometimes I have 9 products and sometimes I have 11, sometimes I have right at 10, and just, roughly 10-ish products that I'm working on every month. So yeah, I have an exciting update for you. We are rolling some products out, we are rolling some products in. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. I've got my computer here next to me with all my notes. So if you see me glancing over, that's what it is. And I like to start these by talking about the products that have been in the project the longest to the ones that, I just put in last month. So the product that's been in the longest is from my Anastasia Sultry palette. This is my oldest eyeshadow palette, and I've just been kind of poking around in here. The actual goal I have for this, though, is to finish up the shade Pearl, which is this shimmery champagne shade. So hopefully you can see that there's really not that much left of it. So I've been working on clearing out the bottom and then kind of the corner here so that I can then focus on the top part. I use this on my inner corner every day, but sometimes I use it all over the lid too, or like as a topper over the lid. So yeah, I'm getting use out of it, but this one's just a little bit slower going. It's kind of starting to crumble a little bit too. So I don't know. I use it. If it crumbles and it stays in the pan, then I'll use it. But if it falls out, I'm not like trying to put it back in the pan. It's just what it is. So this one will be in for a few more months, but I'm still really enjoying it. And it keeps this in my makeup basket every month. And so I can just kind of pick out the other shades in here. I really like the matte shades, Birch and Twig. Twig's right here. So yeah, this has been good. So that palette is from January. The next set of products I have are all from May. So the first one is my NYX Bear With Me setting spray. This is the only setting spray I own. And so I'm just trying to use it up. It's not my all-time favorite. I prefer the Milani Make It Last setting spray over this one. And this is where I'm at. So as you can see, I've been making some pretty steady progress. I would say I have about a month left in this, which, kind of based on the other usage is how I'm estimating this. But I'm excited for this to be over so then I can repurchase the Milani one that I really like. But yeah, I think I have about a month left in this, so I'm expecting it to be done by our next update next month. Also in May, I had another eyeshadow in this project, and it's a single from ABH. It's the shade Pink Champagne. So I have it in this little ABH quad that you can, you just pop your shadows in. But during this whole time, I had it in like a little Z palette, so it was a little bit easier for me. But this is the shade Pink Champagne here. And I did hit pan on it, but because it's such a shimmery shadow, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it here. Let me just pop it out so I can kind of control how the lighting shows in the pan. So maybe you can see it. I did hit pan. It took me, let's see here, a total of 26 uses to hit pan. So the first month I had 10 uses. The second month update I had 22 total uses. And then I used it 4 more times and hit pan. And then I used it a couple times after that. I love this eyeshadow. It is certainly like very glittery, but it can pull kind of brown, kind of pinky, depending on what you have in your crease. So I have this quad. It's one that I made, like I said, they're all ABH shades, but it kind of reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk quad. So if I use more like rosy shades like this in my crease, then it pulls more pink. But if I use browns in my crease with Pink Champagne, then it pulls a little bit more like brown, shimmery kind of champagne. I just love the shade. Obviously I hit pan, but I have a lot more of it. So I'm just happy that I got some more dedicated use out of it. Okay, another product from May was a highlighter. So all of my highlighters and blushes I'm trying to use at least 30 times this year. So the highlighter I was focusing on is a ColourPop Super Shock. This is the shade Lunch Money, and I did finish my 30 use goal. I do use a small stipple brush with this. I actually prefer using a small stipple brush instead of my fingers with this on my cheeks. I feel like once I apply it with my fingers, I can't really blend it like I want to. So the stipple just helps me. So I don't have pan or a little bit of a dip, but nothing significant really. I really like this formula and I really like the shade. So I definitely will be pulling this back out. I have a different highlighter I'm kind of like focusing on now because it's a little bit more of a yellowy gold, whereas this is like a white gold. just because I feel like the yellow gold looks a little bit better on me in the summertime when I have a little bit more color on my skin. So this one's put away. I did hit the 30 uses. I'm really happy about that. I got to know the product a little bit better, which is also nice. And I probably will, be looking to pull it out into a makeup basket soon when the summertime is over. Okay, and then the last item that I brought into this project from May is a lip liner, and I've not finished the lip liner. The goal is to finish it up. So this is from NYX. It's the natural shade of lip liner. This is what it's looking like. I mean, I don't have that much left. So here is the sheet of paper I'm using to track it. Let me get this all lined up here. So this is where I'm at. If you can see the different markings there, it's been pretty consistent progress. When I use this lip liner, I use it in, just the one time throughout the day. I'm not really reapplying it, but I will line my lips and fill them in with this shade, and then I apply whatever on top. So yeah, I am making steady progress. This is one that'll probably be in for the most of the rest of the year. This is a product that, per my standards, it expires at the end of the year. So I just want to get as much use out of it that I can. But I'm still enjoying it. Like I said, it's very natural, neutral color. It doesn't really pull too much in any direction. So it's nice because I can put anything on top of it. Like I used this lip liner and then I put a red over it and it's fine, So that one is still going and probably will be in for a while. So now we're talking about the products that I put in my June update. And the first one comes from my Hourglass Cheek Palette. This is from the 2020 holiday collection. And I am working on the bronzer in here. I'm trying to hit pan on it. And it says that the bronzer is called Golden Bronze Light, in case you were wondering. But yeah, so it has a brightening powder. I use this under my eyes, a blush, and a highlight, and then this bronzer. I'm trying to hit pan on the bronzer. It is a baked product, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell. I can tell when I look super close, but I actually do have a slight bit of pan showing around these edges, just the product pulling away. I'm not going to count that as pan, though. I want to see like the these are on baked tiles, so I want to see the crisscross pattern of the tile. So I'm going to keep working on this. I also really enjoyed the bronzer because it's very natural. It's not matte, but it's not overly shimmery on my skin either. So on my last update, I had used the bronzer 27 times. And now I'm up to 49 total uses. So I've been using it very consistently. Like I said, I'm just going to keep going with it though, because I want to see a little bit more significant pan than just like the outer corner, but I'm really liking it. So it's not been hard for me. The other product that I put in my June update that's still going is my lipstick, which is what I'm wearing right now. So this is the ColourPop Lippy Stick in the shade Trust Me. It is a matte red. It's very comfortable. It's just not something that I wear every day. So my goal for this is to use it 15 times, which doesn't sound like much, but for a bold lipstick, for me, that's a lot anyway. So I have used it a total of 6 times. I've used it 2 times since my last update. Previously I used it 2 times, and this being the second as I'm wearing it now. So, it's just something that if I can use it once or twice a month, I'll actually be pretty proud of that. I don't know. It's just something that, even though I work from home, being on camera with a red lipstick, I've done it once before and I felt kind of uncomfortable. Like I wanted to kind of blot it out or put lip gloss over it, or like kind of tame it down. So I do want to kind of challenge myself to find a way that maybe I could wear it a little bit more sheer. So it's not just like, boom, a red lipstick, but maybe I could do kind of like a more stained approach or something like that. So I'm happy to keep this in. Like I said, I've used it a total of 6 times. My goal is to use it 15 times. So I still have to use it 9 more times. And I'm sure between the next 9, I can find a way that maybe is a little bit more comfortable for me to be able to utilize this more. So this is staying in, probably be in for a few months. Okay, and then let's talk about the products that I put in for my last update. So I have a blush in this palette. This is the same one with the bronzer. The blush is right here, and it is called Mood Flush. It's not like a swirly one, just kind of like a straight up pink kind of rosy color. So I'm trying to use this blush 30 times. Like I said, I just want to make sure I'm rotating through everything. I have used this blush a total of 17 times since my last update, so I'm past the halfway mark. So I do feel like I'm getting good use out of it. You can really build it up and kind of have like a sunburnt look, or it can be pretty sheer and just be like a nice little flush of color. So I'm really actually pleased with it. It's not a shade that I'm immediately drawn towards, but because I've been using it and prioritize using it over other ones, I've learned to use it in ways that I, wouldn't have really expected. So yeah, my goal is to use it 30 times. I have 17 down. So I'm just going to be looking forward to trying to maybe hit the rest of those uses in the next month, but I don't want to force it. We'll see. Also, last month I rolled in 2 eyeshadows. So kind of the backstory of these are the one goal I had earlier in the year was to hit pan on all of the kind of like matte satin, like bone cream white shades. Those are the types of shades that I use to highlight my brow bone, but also to set my eyeshadow primer. So I made it my goal to go through and hit pan on all of the different ones that I had, and I have achieved that. So now I'm circling back around to finish them up. So the first one that I am working on finishing up comes from my e.l.f. Bite Size Quad. This is the Cream and Sugar color range, I suppose. So I'm working on finishing this one right here. And obviously I have quite a bit of pan showing. I am really happy with the progress I have made. So I have used this 22 times since my last update. And yeah, it's going really, really fast. So obviously it's getting really thin down here. That's kind of where I've been focusing on. And then I will work to expand the top portion, but I'm really happy with this shade. It's performing really well. So yeah, I've used it 22 times, and then it took me 15 times before that to actually hit pan. So, all in all, I'm about 37 uses in, and I've used up quite a bit. So if you have this quad or like one of these e.l.f. little ones in a different variety, at least the matte shades aren't taking that long to go through. So yeah, really happy with this, and maybe I'll be able to have it done. I would love to see it done next month, but I don't know if that's realistic, but I think I'm going to push myself just to see if I can do it. It is kind of powdery, so it's not like I feel like I really have to dig at it. Even if I'm very gentle with it, I'm getting a lot of product, and that's why I'm on the fence if I can have it done next month or not, but I'm certainly going to try. The other eyeshadow I had in from July, I did reach my goal on, and it is a shade from the ColourPop Bare Necessities palette. If you're new here, this is my favorite palette. If you're not new here, you probably already know about this. But so I made the goal to hit pan on all of those cream type shades. Now I'm going through and trying to hit pan on all of the shades I would use as a liner. So I don't use actual like pencil or gel eyeliner. I use a eyeshadow. Then I use it with setting spray. I wet my brush, and then I dig into the eyeshadow and I line my eyes. I've been doing this for a couple years now, and I absolutely love it. So I'm going through and trying to hit pan on all of the shades that kind of like qualify as an eyeliner shade for me. And I have a lot of them in my collection. So it's going to take me a while, and you use less for the liner than you would to set all over your lid, and your brow bone like I do with the cream shades. So anyway, I brought in the shade Stiletto, and I did hit pan on it. I already had kind of a dip on it, and this is more of a kind of crumblier shade, but this is it down here. So you can see where I targeted my brush, but this was a nice shade to work on. I'm very pleased with it. And I do have some others in here that I could use as liners, but we'll talk about that in a minute, what I'm going to be using as my liner to, hit pan on next and work towards. But yeah, so now I have 4 shades in this palette with pan on it, which is really exciting, I do a kind of rendition of pan those eyeshadows. I call it eyeshadow roulette on my channel, but I do calculate my pan percentage. So it's fun to have new pans either from my project pan or naturally, or from the other project, that eyeshadow roulette, that is working towards, making that percentage higher and higher. So a quick recap. I hit my goal on my eyeshadow. I hit the goal on the ColourPop Super Shock highlighter. And I also hit my goal on the Anastasia quad. I hit pan in pink champagne. So I have 3 items that I am rolling out, and I only have 2 that I'm going to be rolling in. So this month I'm going to be working on 9 products, but that's okay. The first one being the brown eyeshadow that I want to use as my eyeliner. And since I already have my e.l.f. quad out, I'm going to be working on the last shade in this quad. So these don't have actual names on them, but it's just a really dark kind of chocolatey brown. And maybe you can tell already where I have started to target my brush in there. So I have not been tracking all of the total uses. I know that since the beginning of August, I've used it 6 times. So we're just going to start kind of counting from there. I did use it a handful of times before then, but that's okay. I knew that this one was going to be coming into my project once I finished up hitting pan on stiletto. So this is going to be the eyeshadow that I'm using. Like I said, I'm already in here, so this is already going to be in my makeup basket. And I figured it would be a nice way to kind of like utilize the same palette for 2 different shades. So this is going to be rolling in. And the second product I'm going to be rolling in is a face powder. This is the oldest powder I have. It's from Cover FX. Most of the writing is coming off. This is the powder that I used to just throw into my purse. So it's, rubbed up against a lot of things. But this is the blotting powder, and I have the shade Light. This has a little mirror in it, which is nice. And then this is a little Tarte blush that I had from a previous compact, but it fits into all my other compacts. So I, keep this in whatever powder I have in my bag at a time. But here's the thing is I work from home full time now. So I don't go to the office or travel for work like I once did. And so I'm not really finding that I need to have a powder in my purse. Sometimes if we're going to go out all day, maybe on the weekend or do something, I will pack it, but it's just kind of getting neglected. And since this is the oldest powder in my collection, I just kind of want to use it up. I have a second pressed powder, and I feel like I probably just need one in my life. I typically prefer loose powder, so this is where I'm at. I already have pan in the powder, so I just need to finish it up. To be honest, I don't think this is going to be very difficult for me to finish up because typically I've just been using this little brush and just kind of dusting over my T-zone or my cheeks if they're getting kind of tacky and oily and sweaty and all that. But if I can use this to set my face every day, I feel like I can go through this really, really quickly. So my plan is going to be using this kind of on the weekdays when I'm home. I still like to wear a little bit of makeup on weekdays when I'm working. It just kind of makes me feel put together for the day. But on the weekends, I probably won't use this because it doesn't have this staying power. On the weekends, I probably won't use this as my initial powder. I'll still use my loose powder because I feel like my loose powder works better for my oily skin than this does. But again, working from home when I literally don't leave the house all day, I'll just use this. So that is going to be rolling in for me to finish up. And I'm hoping maybe this can be done even by next month, but we'll see how many times I actually end up wearing makeup. That's kind of a big factor in all of this. So that is going to be it for me and my Project Pan update. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how your Project Pan is going. I will have my playlist linked down below if you are interested in binging mine. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. And I'll see you guys in my next one.